My name is Colin Davies, and I work at ExperimentaDesign Design, and this one is going to be called The Role of Design in the Kitchen, 50 Years of Cooking Up a Storm, which this seems incredibly tame after the Scouts movement and cross-dressing. But anyway, so in a way, the kitchen, I'm interested in design and how it influences our lives, and the kitchen is obviously kind of central to how we make our being and make ourselves culturally. So the kitchen's always been the centre of family life, and this family life is transferred into the pink and blue of growing up as a child. So I'm just kind of interested about how the kitchen works as a dynamic, about how it reflects what's going on in culture as a whole, so from child play, and how it's becoming much more macho culture. So this is called Air Fork 1, and I think it kind of introduces a certain kind of masculinity to the kitchen. So, and that's what my argument is going to be about who rules the kitchen at the moment. So something like the potato masher has a history of being a masculine object. So here you can see, traditional kind of 1950s potato masher, and then a Victorian illustration of a much more kind of grandiose version of the potato masher. Also, in the Second World War, the German grenades were called potato mashers because they actually looked like potato mashers, but also, I presume, they did. Anyway. So the other thing is this looking at Joseph, who have made up something called the Spudsky, and they made a potato masher that looks like the sort of thing you'd go skiing with. But again, it's showing you kind of instructions for masculinity and a slightly more macho atmosphere within the kitchen. You also suddenly see that, in a way, kind of spaceship and techie enters the kitchen through design. So this is a kind of all-steel, almost Doctor Who-like kitchen. And it comes with, or you can have cutlery, almost, again, has kind of spaceship feel to it. Looks very kind of 1950s and very kind of, I would argue, kind of techie and slightly masculine overture. The person I blame for this is Philip Starr, who introduced this lemon squeezer, which has a kind of very space-like attitude to it. So I think he kind of introduced this idea of the kitchen becoming a place of performance. So, and again, just like a potato masher, it seems the squeezer in kitchen history seems to be a very masculine object. So quite often you see men squeezing oranges in adverts, etc., for these things, whereas women might be doing other things. And then some students of mine called Sup Design took this one step further, not under my influence, but produced a squeezer that has some kind of sexual connotation. And just in case you didn't get the joke, they also have a wall hanging one that goes at chest high. And then also there's kind of violence that enters into. My PhD is around design and violence. There's a violence that enters the kitchen. This is a Snitzer 22-piece professional chef's ergonomic design cutlery set. And I call this the B&Q aesthetic of the kitchen, in that it kind of starts looking like there are instruments you could buy from, Stanley Tools company. This is a pizza cutter that also acts as quite kind of a violent way of scaring the pizza boy. And this is a blowtorch. Again, it looks like a Black & Decker or another Stanley tool. And this is just for burning your brulee, I think you use it for. But again, you start seeing there's a kind of high-tech atmosphere that's coming into the kitchen. It allows men into the kitchen. This is my argument in the real world. And this is another one, this is kind of literally just using, a kind of a gadget that, such as the Swiss knife, and it becomes a holder for your gadget. So what it does, what I say is this allows men into the kitchen. But of course there's a reaction to this. This is a Droog design, and they design a vase that gets better with age. So the more you throw it, and it cracks, you get a patina of years. And this is the Droog vase that even tells you how to throw it at your partner in the kitchen. And then, just to bring in this kind of slightly more macho atmosphere, this is a pepper pot, which is part of a pepper and a salt pot, and they're made more like knuckle dusters. So again, they're ergonomically designed, but also you can punch someone with them. And then the violence becomes slightly more literal, and you start seeing more kind of jokey signs of design. I couldn't find the designer's name, but I think he doesn't like cats, or she doesn't like cats. So you start seeing violence literally being part of society. And then this argument between men and women, I don't know where it goes. This is kind of a classic example of maybe this is women's art, this is women's design over showing that men maybe don't rule the roost in the roost in the kitchen. But finally, there's also this one. I think this is a good opportunity to show another way a woman might show that she rules the kitchen, in that it's a dildo in the shape of a bottle washer. So this idea that the woman can actually wash her dishes with your penis in quite a kind of a dramatic way of ending the cash food.